Thanks.
Amen. Pastor Tracy, so good to see you again. Amen. God bless you, everybody. Come on, give your thanks. Amen. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. When I got this invitation, I was really excited because God has been dealing with me about the heart for a couple of years now. And so I stand here as one who has a heart condition. And when I really start preparing and start praying, the Lord reminded me that when you have to go for different tests for your heart, you can't test yourself. You can't get up on the table and do an echocardiogram on your own self. You can't go to the doctor, and the reason for the echocardiogram is that they can see the blood flow that's in the heart. Amen. So that's in the natural. But when we look at it in the spiritual, you have to submit to the physician to check your heart.
Come on, girl.
You have to submit to the physician to check your heart. You have to submit to the Holy Spirit. You have to get up on the table, take your top and your bra off, real talk, be vulnerable, and allow the Holy Spirit to inspect your heart. I'm reminded that the scripture says over Jeremiah that, check my heart, God. See if there be any wicked thing in me. But we don't get up on the altar.
Come on now.
Because we women, we prepare. We're going to take care of some things. But God said on today, women of God, get back on the altar and let me check your heart. So I was praying, and I was like, okay, God, give me somebody that they don't know nothing about. Give me somebody. But he took me back to the young lady that I ministered to about on Mother's Day for last year. And she's only mentioned twice in the Bible, in the Old Testament. But before I get there, another thing about the heart that I need to bring to your attention is that our heart has 4 chambers. Yes, it does. And when I was praying about that, the Lord reminded me of Solomon's temple. And that in Solomon's temple was a whole bunch of chambers. And in these chambers, they had these guarded curtains over the chambers, over the various different chambers. In the human heart, we have 4 chambers. North, south, east, and west. The number of creation. And so, as I was praying about that, God reminded me that we as women, because those chambers in Solomon's temple, the purpose for the curtain was that nobody could see what was in it. Hidden stuff. So we women, in our 4 chambers of our heart, there's still some hidden stuff that God is desiring to get to. Amen. There's still some things that's in our heart that God is still desiring to take away and take out and get rid of. So then that takes me to the lady in the Old Testament by the name of Rizpah. My girl. Now, even though if we look at her account, 2 Samuel chapter 21, we look at her account and we would think that it was tragedy. We would think that the account of Rizpah is a really sad story. So I was like, God, we're talking about a woman's heart. Why are we going to Rizpah? Because I want people to be, friendly, and it's a nice day, it's beautiful outside, and we're looking at a woman who had to deal with her dead sons. What's that all about? So he reminded me about the tabernacle of Moses. When you lay the cross down on the tabernacle, where his heart is the altar of incense. So when you look at this account of Rizpah, I want to pull out 4 things for you, along with my adjectives about Rizpah when it pertains to her heart. Number 1, Rizpah was found on a rock. A rock. Christ Jesus. The rock. Women with your heart, there's 4 things that God wanted to talk about. When you look at the altar of incense, there's prayer, there's intercession, and there's worship. He said all 3 of these things was in Rizpah's heart. All 3 of these adjectives was in Rizpah's heart. So number 1, she was found on a rock. On a rock, praising God. On the rock, the devils and the birds and the buzzards and whatnot. On the rock, because it's on the rock in which you can stand. It's on the rock in which you can get your foundation. It's on the rock in which you get your strength. It's on the solid rock of Jesus Christ in which he can really work and through your heart like never before. Number one, she was found on the rock. Number two, Rizpah. Now this was during the time of famine. And they killed the Gibeonites. So he broke the contract. He broke the covenant that was set before them. And they asked for, we don't want no gold, we don't want no silver, we don't want nothing from Saul's peoples. We want 7 of his sons and we want to kill them. And 2 of them sons was Rizpah's boys. So Rizpah got on this rock and she decided to stay on this rock. Now she didn't, this is where intercession comes in. She did not just stay on the rock for her sons, but she stayed on the rock for the other 5 as well. So point number 2 is aggressive intercession. When you're on the rock of Christ Jesus and you begin to intercede for your children, when you begin to intercede for your children, you got to get aggressive about some things. You got to get aggressive about the buzzers that's flying around your household. You got to get aggressive about the buzzers that's flying around your marriage. You got to get aggressive about the buzzers.
Your health, come on now.
We ain't talking about the little canaries. No, we're talking about vultures that's coming around your household, that's ready to pluck at you, that's ready to take the seed of the word of God out of your heart. Aggressive intercession. Aggressive intercession. Point number 3, day and night. Adjective fervent. Day and night. She stayed on this rock. Day and night for 5 months. Some of us can't stay in prayer for 10 minutes. We're talking about being on the rock of Christ Jesus. Standing in the gap for your children, your children's children, your children's children's children for 5 months until you get a breakthrough. Aggressive intercession. Day and night. The scripture says she didn't go to, it don't say nothing about her going to the bathroom. It don't say nothing about her going home to check on the house. It don't say nothing about her saying, somebody bring me something to eat. I need something to drink. It don't say none of that. It says that she stayed on the rock day and night from the famine when it started in March and April all the way to the latter rain, which is November, December, fighting off buzzards, fighting off vultures, fighting off predators in the night, in the daytime, just to protect. To protect what's dead. Point number 4. She moved the king.
Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. Woo!
She moved the king. She was on the rock. Aggressively intercession. Day and night. And because of her steadfastness, because of her staying solid rock, because of her staying on the point of like Jesus, she moved the heart of the king. Your heart will be lined up with Jesus' heart. Your heart will be lined up with Jesus' heart. And then you will begin to give off a smell that will move the Father off of the throne.
You better talk about this.
You, women of God,
Got
the
that.
heart of the woman is connected to the heart of the King of Kings. The heart of the woman would move him off the altar. The heart of the woman would move him off the throne. He'd be like, wait a minute, hold on, I smell something. I got a connection of heart. I got to go see about my daughter. I got to go see about my daughter dying. I got to move heaven and earth just on her behalf. Because her heart is connected to mine. connected to the King of Kings.
Come on, come on.
But see, he wants me to remind you, in order for your heart to be connected to his heart, you got to lay down.
Lay down before.
You
Intimacy.
got to lay down.
Come on now.
You got to have aggressive intercession. You got to have worship. You got to pray without ceasing. The heart of the King. What? Oh, that was a gold mine for me. I said, Rebecca had it going on. And she probably really, for real, didn't know. Because when David found out what was going on, he was like, oh no. He didn't send his servants to go collect the bones. He didn't send the concubines to go do anything. He got up off his throne and he went there himself.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Yes, he did.